welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to learn how to make the Valentine's hearts crochet tote bag, as you've seen at the beginning of the video. This yarn is a different measurement for each and every type, and I'll be leaving all the details in the description box below. So I used approximately half a ball of Alize cotton gold, and that was a total of about 130 yards in order to make the bag. But when it comes to this one, I used approximately 3.5 to 4 balls. This is because this is my main color, and yeah, as you can see, the base of the bag is white, and then the straps are white, all the finishing and the edges are white. So this I used about 4 balls, and for this one half a ball. And then you also need a 3.5mm crochet hook, and then a pair of scissors, some stitch markers, a darning needle, and a measuring tape. So let's get started. If you would like the written pattern, it's already available on all my online shops, and I'll also be leaving behind a playlist for my Valentine themed crochet projects that you can try out. So make sure you check out those ones because there are many, and yeah, feel free to try out any of these designs and also to check out their written patterns if you wish. So let's jump right into the video. Alright guys, so if I'm to take a measurement across the base of my bag, it's about 15 inches, as you can see here. And then for the length of the bag, I ended up with about 20 inches length. So 15 by 20, and then the body of the bag without the straps is about 12 inches. And then the top part of the bag measures about 11 inches. That's because I created some decreases when it came to this area here, so that we have that cinched in look, and so that the straps kind of make sense, because I didn't want this bulge to distract the beauty of our bag. So another thing that I have to point out is you can go ahead and line your bag at the end of the project. I didn't do that, but that is totally optional. You can put a lining on the inside so that when you put your stuff, no one can see what you have put on the inside. So let's begin our project, starting from the base all the way up. So you're going to grab your very first color, and for me that is my white color. It's the one that I'm going to be using at the base of the bag. Alright, so we're going to start off with a slip knot, and we are going to make a chain of 63. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have my 63 chains, and I'm going to make one more chain, and that will count as a turning chain. So chain one more, that is a total of 64, and you're going to half double crochet into the second chain from the hook. So you yarn over and go into the second chain, insert your hook, pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all. That's a half double crochet in the US terms. So yarn over, insert your hook into the next chain, pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all. So you're going to repeat this all the way across until you have only 1 chain left on your row. So half double crochet once in each and every chain until you have only 1 chain left. Alright guys, we're coming to the end of the row, and I have only 1 chain left, and in that last chain you're going to place a total of 2 half double crochets. So this is one, and then another one. So in the last chain we have placed 2 half double crochets, and now you're going to turn your work so that you're working on the opposite side of the foundation chain. So we're going to go into the next chain, which is this one. So the last chain only got 2 stitches, and then you're going to go into the next chain and place 1 half double crochet, and continue to place 1 half double crochet in each and every chain on the opposite side of the foundation chain. Make sure you're seeing those stitches really well, and you're going to continue doing this until towards the end of the round, and then I'll show you how to wind up round 1. This piece is worked in rounds right from the get-go, so this is round 1. So you can see the curve is already forming itself. All right, so we're coming to the end of the round, and you should make sure that in this stitch that got the very first half double crochet of the round, you go in there with a double crochet. So that way we have placed 2 half double crochets in the very first chain and 2 half double crochets in the very last chain. And that brings us to a total of 126 half double crochets. So if you need to cross check, please go ahead and do that, and then you're going to place a slip stitch, insert your hook in the first stitch and pull through all. So that is a slip stitch, and that marks the end of round 1. Round 2, you're going to make a chain of 1 and half double crochet in the same exact stitch once, and then continue to half double crochet once in each and every stitch around. So that means for round 2 still we shall have the same exact number of stitches. So you're going to make sure that you mark your very first stitch so that you don't lose track of where you started your round from. This is my first half double crochet, and I'm going to go all the way around, placing 1 half double crochet in each and every stitch. And note that we work in the same direction as the previous round, so I didn't turn my work. You're just going to continue to half double crochet in the same direction as the previous round, and at the end of round 2 you should have 126 half double crochets, just like we did for round 1. So your curve should be like this. Your work will start folding like this. So just go all the way around, and I'll meet you back at the end of round 2. So when you reach this point, don't forget, we're just going to place 1 half double crochet in each and every stitch around that curve and make it to the opposite side, placing 1 half double crochet in each and every stitch until the beginning of the round where we placed our stitch marker. So you can see how the curve is behaving. Don't try to straighten it out because this is already creating the shape for the bag. So that means we are building upwards. All right, so we are coming to the end of round 2, and I'm still placing 1 half double crochet in each and every stitch. And then you're going to remove your stitch marker from the very first stitch and slip stitch. So you insert your hook, pull through all, and you should be having a total of 126 half double crochets for round 2 as well. So you're going to repeat round 2 for a total of 5 rounds, and then I'll show you what I'll have by then. So this is round 2. I'm going to repeat that 3 more times so that I have a total of 5 rounds, and then we shall see what to do next. So don't forget, you make a chain of 1 and half double crochet into the very first stitch. Place a stitch marker so that you don't lose track of where the round started from, and then continue to half double crochet once in each and every stitch around. Alright guys, we are almost coming to the end of round 5, and this is what your work will look like. Very pretty, and you can see our foundation chain is in between these 2 rows, and when you fold it over like this, you're going to have that curve already forming. That means you're going to work upwards to create the bag. Now I'm finishing up round 5, and you're going to determine how thick you want this distance to be. For me, it's just 5 rounds, and I'm going to remove my stitch marker and slip stitch into the very first half double crochet of the round. Now let me get my measuring tape. Alright guys, I have my measuring tape here, and this thickness is just about 2 inches or a little less than 2 inches. So if you want exactly 2 inches, you can go ahead and make 1 more round to make it a total of 6. But the 5 rounds here are just enough. Now, once you get the thickness that you want, at this point, you're going to make a chain of 1. Sorry for the birds outside. It's evening time, and this is their route to their homes. So I have to just deal with nature. So after making a chain of 1, you're going to pull through and cut your yarn. Now we're going to introduce the color that we want our hats to be. So for me, that is the red color, and you're going to start off with a slip knot, and we're going to attach into that stitch that got the slip stitch, just like this, then tighten. This doesn't count as anything. So you attach your yarn and then make a chain of 3. That chain of 3 will count as our very first double crochet. Now you're going to go into the same exact stitch with 2 more double crochets, 1 and 2. So that's a total of 3 double crochets because the chain of 3 counts as a double crochet. And then you're going to make a chain of 3, 1, 2, 3, and remember we are still working in the same direction as the previous round. So after your chain of 3, you're going to skip over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches, and into the 6th you're going to place a total of 5 double crochets, all in the same stitch, just like that. And then make a chain of 3, skip 5 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and into the next, which is the 6th, you're going to place a total of 5 double crochets, all in the same stitch. So just like that, we're going to repeat this all the way around our work. Chain 3, skip 5 stitches, and double crochet 5 times into the next stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and into the next, place your 5 double crochets. So do that all the way around until you have a total of 5 stitches left on your round. Alright guys, this is how your work is going to look like. I'm still going all the way around until I come towards the end of the round, but I just wanted to update you on how everything is going. So chain 3, skip 5 stitches, 1 2 3 4 5, and into the next a total of 5 double crochets. So if you wanted your hearts to be purple, that means this round will be purple. If you wanted your hearts to be pink, this round will be pink. So decide and see which color that you want for your hearts. Alright guys, I've come to the end of my red round, which is the very first round of the hearts pattern, and right now I have a total of 6 stitches left. So I'm going to make a chain of 3, and then you are going to go into that stitch with the 3 stitches at the beginning. You're going to skip over all the 6 stitches and then go into the stitch with the 3 stitches at the beginning of the round and place 2 double crochets. That will bring us to a total of 5 stitches into the very first stitch, and then you're going to slip stitch on top of the first chain 3 of the round. So you can see how it has balanced what we have in here. So that means the very first stitch also has a total of 5 double crochets. Now you're going to make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn. This project is going to have so many loose ends, by the way, because after a round we cut our yarn and then pull through, and this is what your work will look like. Now we're going to go on to the next round, and you're going to come back to your primary color, which is the white color, whichever color that you have here, or whatever color that you choose to use for your next round. You're going to make a slip knot, and you're going to go into that stitch with the slip stitch on top of the chain 3. That should be the middle stitch of the 5 double crochets at this point. Attach your yarn just like this, and then you're going to make 1 single crochet into that same exact stitch. Just make a single crochet there, and then make a chain of 2, and you're going to go into the middle stitch of the 5 stitches that you just skipped. So after a chain of 2 here, you're going to go down into the 3rd stitch of the 5 double crochets you skipped. So you yarn over, go into the middle stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. That is called an elongated double crochet. Chain 1, and into the same stitch you're going to place another elongated double crochet. So you yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So that kind of creates a V-stitch at this point, and then make a chain of 2 and single crochet into the middle stitch of the next 5 double crochets. So we are still working in the same direction as the previous round. So this is what you'll have. Make a chain of 2 and then go into the middle stitch of the skipped 5 double crochets and place a V-stitch. So you yarn over, go into that middle stitch of the 5 stitches that you just skipped, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, chain 1, and into the same stitch you're going to go in there with another elongated double crochet, and then make a chain of 2 and single crochet into the middle stitch of the next 5 double crochets. So you're going to repeat this: chain 2, V-stitch into the middle stitch of the skipped 5 stitches, and then chain 2 and single crochet into the middle stitch of the next 5 double crochets. So this is going to create that V-stitch, and you're going to go all the way around doing this until you come to the end of the round. So I forgot to mention how many hats that I ended up with after round 1 of red. Let me count them: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21 hats for round 1 of red. So I'm going to go all the way around, repeating my pattern until I come towards the end of this round, which should be round 2 of the hats pattern. Sorry, this is supposed to be a chain of 1. The chain in between the V-stitch should be a chain of 1, not 2. Alright, so let me go all the way around and I'll meet you back at the end of round 2 of the hats pattern. Alright guys, we're coming to the end of round 2 of the hats pattern. I'm making a chain of 2 and creating a V-stitch. Here we skipped a total of 6 stitches, so I'm just going to skip over 2 stitches, and into the 3rd I'm going to create my V-stitch just like I've been doing for the other V-stitches, just like that. And then I'll make a chain of 2 and slip stitch into the very first single crochet of the round. So once you're done with this, you're going to make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn, pull through. So this is what your work will look like. Now we're going to go back to our hats color. For me, that is going to be red. All right, now you're going to get this color of the hats. You can even decide to have different colors for each and every round of hats. So you're going to see where you left off your previous row. My row has ended at this point, so you're going to attach into the V-stitch right after the loose end. You're going to attach your next color, which is the red color or the color of the hats, and then make a chain of 3, which counts as a double crochet. Double crochet 2 more times into the same exact chain 1 space, or into the V-stitch, as you can see here. So we have a total of 3 stitches, and then you're going to make a chain of 3 and 5 double crochets into the next V-stitch. Five double crochets, and then make a chain of 3, 5 double crochets into the next V-stitch, or the chain 1 space of the V-stitch. So this is round 3 of the hearts pattern. This is what you're going to have. You're going to repeat that all the way around. Chain 3, 5 double crochets into the chain 1 space of the next V-stitch. And you can see the placement of the hearts will keep alternating, creating that zigzag form, as you can see here on the actual bag. You can see this. So we're going to go all the way around for round 3. Chain 3, 5 double crochets into the next V-stitch, and I'll meet you back towards the end of round 3. All right, now we're coming to the end of round 3 of the heart stitch pattern, and I've just placed 5 double crochets in the last V-stitch of the previous round, and then I'm going to make a chain of 3. And remember the V-stitch at the beginning of the round that got only 3 stitches, you're going to go in there with 2 double crochets, of course after chaining 3. So 1 and then 2. These are the 2 double crochets to make a total of 5 double crochets in the very first V-stitch of the previous round. And then you're going to go on top of the first chain 3 of the round and place a slip stitch. So you can see how this counts as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 double crochets. You're going to make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn. Pull through. That marks the end of round 3. So you can see how your piece is growing upwards. Now we're going to get our next color, which is the white color for me, for my case. I am attaching my yarn into the top of the chain 3 where I placed a slip stitch at the end of the previous round, just like that. And then into the same stitch I'm going to place a single crochet. So that after that you're going to make a chain of 2, and this time round, instead of creating a V-stitch, you're going to go 1 row below, so you don't work in this space. You're going to work in the chain 2 spaces here and here. So you're going to yarn over, go into the chain 2 space of the white row and place your elongated double crochet. I hope you still remember how to do that. And then chain 1 and go into the next chain 2 space. So yarn over into the next one, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So that is our elongated double crochet stitch with a chain 1 space in between, and you can see where it's worked. It's worked in the row below the previous row. So after this you're going to make a chain of 2 and single crochet into the middle stitch of the next 5 double crochets. So that is in the 3rd stitch, the 3rd double crochet of the next 5 stitches. You place a single crochet, chain 2, go into the chain 2 space 1 row below and place an elongated double crochet, chain 1, skip over the next single crochet 1 row below and go into the chain 2 space and place an elongated double crochet, just like that. Then make a chain of 2 and single crochet into the middle stitch of the next 5 double crochets. So remember, we are working in the same direction as the previous round, always for the body of the bag. So you can see how here the hearts don't appear full, but from the second hat, the hats are going to appear more pronounced and full. As you can see here, the hats start forming and start becoming or appearing a little bit longer. So let's go ahead, chain 2, elongated double crochet into the chain 2 space, chain 1, elongated double crochet into the next chain 2 space, and then make a chain of 2 and single crochet into the middle stitch of the next 5 double crochets. That's what we are going to repeat all the way around. And I'll meet you back towards the end of round 4 of the hat stitch pattern. Alright, so we're coming to the end of round 4, and you can see I'm making a chain of 2 and single crocheting into the middle stitch of the next 5 double crochets, and then make a chain of 2 and elongated double crochet into the next chain 2 space, 1 row below, chain 1 and elongated double crochet into the next chain 2 space, 1 row below. And just like that, you're going to make a chain of 2 and slip stitch into the first single crochet of the round. Insert your hook into the single crochet and pull through all. So that's how to wind up round 4, and this is what you'll have. Now after your slip stitch, you're going to make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn, and then reintroduce the color of your hats. For me that is red, and you're going to make a slip knot. This is round 5. So into the chain 1 space in between the 2 elongated double crochets after the tail of the previous row or round, you're going to go into the chain 1 space, attach your yarn, chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, double crochet 2 more times into the same space to make a total of 3 double crochets, and then chain 3, double crochet 5 times in the chain 1 space in between the 2 elongated double crochets from the row below, just like that. Chain 3, 5 double crochets in the chain 1 space in between the next 2 elongated double crochets from the row below, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Chain 3, 5 double crochets into the chain 1 space between the next 2 elongated double crochets from the row below. So this is the repeat of this round all the way around until you get here, and I'll show you how to wind up. Chain 3, 5 double crochets, so we've come to the end of round 5, and as you can see here, I've placed 5 double crochets in the chain 1 space in between the 2 last elongated double crochets of the previous round. Now I'm going to make a chain of 3, and into that chain 1 space with the 3 stitches, I'm going to go ahead and place 2 more double crochets. And by now you should be knowing why we are placing 2 double crochets here. That's because we want to make it a total of 5 double crochets, and then you're going to slip stitch on top of the chain 3 to make a total of 5 double crochets into this chain 1 space. Now you're going to make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn, and I'll be having timestamps so that you can follow along easily. Now we are going to keep repeating rounds 4 and 5 again and again until we get the length of the bag that we want. For me, I'll consider a total of about 12 inches. So you can see right now I'm at about 3.5 inches. So I want a total of 12 inches for my bag, but you can do as long as you want or as short as you want. You can do 10 inches, you can do 12 inches like me. I wanted a kind of bigger bag so that it can accommodate maybe a laptop, some books, and everything else. So I'll do a total of 12 inches. So I'm going to keep repeating rounds 4 and 5 again and again until I get to my 12 inches, and I'll show you what to do next. Alright guys, I kept repeating my rounds until I had a total of approximately 12 inches, as you can see here. Approximately 12 inches, and this is what my work looks like. If you're to count the number of hats, starting from this one at the base, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. A total of 8 hats upwards, starting from this one, the one at the base of the very first round of the hats. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. But you can make it as long as you want, depending on the length that you want for your bag. Now, I also made sure that I ended on a white round, as you can see here. And then we're now going to clean up the edges before we start creating our straps. You're going to decide whether to have red straps or white straps. Now, the fact that the base of my bag is white, I will maintain the white color for the upper bit of my piece. So you're going to make a slip knot, and then you're going to attach it where you left off your white round, your very last round. You're going to attach your yarn in that single crochet where you made a slip stitch, and then into the same stitch you're going to place 1 single crochet, and then in the chain 2 space you're going to place 2 single crochets. In the double crochet you're going to make a single crochet. In the chain 1 space, 1 single crochet. In the elongated double crochet, 1 single crochet, and then in the chain 2 space you place 2 single crochets. So that's all that we are going to do all the way around. This way we are creating a foundation for our straps. So into the single crochet, make sure you're working this on the right side of your work. In the chain 2 space you're going to place 2 single crochets. In the elongated double crochet you place 1 single crochet. In the chain 1 space, 1 single crochet. In the elongated double crochet, 1 single crochet. Chain 2 space, 2 single crochets. In the single crochet, 1 single crochet. So go all the way around, cleaning up the top edge of our bag, and this is what you're going to have. So let me continue to do this all the way around, and then I'll meet you back to show you how to create your straps. Alright guys, now we're coming to the end of the single crochet round, and I'm ending with 2 single crochets into the chain 2 space, and then slip stitching into the first single crochet of the round. So you insert your hook, pull through all, and then you're going to make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn, pull through, and let's see how the edge looks like right now. You can see it's much more solid as compared to what we had before. So when we turn our work onto the wrong side or the inside of the bag, you'll notice that you have so many loose ends to weave in, but that we shall work on later on. Now we're going to go onto the straps. You're going to go onto the straps of our work. You're going to place your piece like this, and then you're going to get a total of 4 stitch markers. So I have my 4 stitch markers, and we're going to place our work like this, and then you're going to mark the side stitch, just like that, and then you're going to count a number of stitches towards the side of this stitch marker. So I'm going to count a total of 11 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So into the 11th stitch, I'm going to place a stitch marker, and then I'm going to do the same exact thing towards this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So you count 11 stitches from the stitch marker on the side. So once you get that, you can remove the middle stitch marker, the one on the side. So this is how thick our strap is going to be. We're going to repeat that on the opposite side. So just place your work flat like this, and then mark the side stitch. Just like that. And then count 11 stitches, both on this side and on the opposite side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Place a stitch marker there. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So you can remove this one and then place it in the 11th stitch that you've counted. So that way you're going to have a total of 21 stitches in between the 2 stitch markers. So make sure you cross check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. You should have a total of 21 stitches between the stitch markers. So let me just cross check on this side as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. So once you have that, you're going to get your strap color. I don't know what you want to use, but for me, that's still going to be the white color because it's what I used at the base. And I want to match what's at the base with the straps. So you're going to attach your yarn in one of the stitches with the stitch marker. Just like that. And then you're going to make a chain of 3, which counts as our very first double crochet. And then 1 double crochet in each of the next stitches until the stitch with your next stitch marker. So right now we are working our straps. You're going to go into each and every stitch until the stitch before the one with the stitch marker. Alright, so I'm placing a double crochet in the stitch before the one with the stitch marker, and then you can remove your stitch marker and place a double crochet in that stitch that had the stitch marker. This will bring us to a total of 23 double crochets, counting the chain 3 as a stitch and this is how thick our strap is. We're going on to row 2. You're going to make a chain of 3, which counts as a double crochet. Turn your work, and then you are going to make 2 double crochets together. So we're going to create a decrease. So you yarn over, go into the next stitch, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop. You have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through all the 3 loops. So that way we've created a decrease, and then double crochet in each of the next stitches until you have a total of 3 stitches left on your row. So 1 double crochet in each of the next stitches until you have 3 stitches. Remember, the chain of 3 at the beginning of the row counts as one of the stitches. So I'm going to go all the way across until I have 2 stitches and then the chain 3 as well. So I'll show you what to do next. So as you can see, we've come to the end of the row, and I have these 2 stitches and the chain 3 that counts as a double crochet. So that's a total of 3 stitches. I'm going to create my decrease by yarning over, insert my hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through all the 3 loops, and then double crochet on top of the chain 3 at the end of the row. So that way we have created a decrease, and you should be having a total of 21 stitches now. So we have the chain 3, which counts as one of the stitches, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21 stitches. So we are going to repeat row 2 again and again until we have a total of 5 stitches. So you chain 3, turn your work, create a decrease into the next 2 stitches by placing 2 double crochets together, and then 1 double crochet in each of the next stitches until you have 3 stitches left on your row. So when you have 3 stitches left on your row, it's time for us to create our 2 double crochet together stitch, or the decrease into the next 2 stitches, and then 1 double crochet on top of the chain 3 because it counts as a stitch. And that way we've decreased again. So for row 3 you should be having a total of 19 stitches. So your rows are going to keep decreasing by 2, and you're going to repeat that row of decrease, row 2, until you have a total of 5 stitches. So I'm going to go off camera and I keep creating my decrease row until I have a total of 5 stitches, and then I'll meet you back when that's done and I'll show you what to do next. Alright guys, now I have my 5 stitches across and I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10 rows of double crochets. 10 double crochet rows. Now we're going to create our plain rows without any decreases. After your last row, the one that has a total of 5 stitches, you're going to make a chain of 3 and turn your work. Go into the next stitch with a double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, and then on top of the chain 3 you're going to place a double crochet, and this should give you a total of 5 stitches, counting the chain 3 as one of the stitches. So we're going to do this for a total of 12 rows. So I'll mark this one as row 1, the one without any decreases. So I want a total of 12 rows of the 5 double crochets without any decreases. Chain 3, turn, 1 double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches to make a total of 5 double crochets. Make sure you go on top of the chain 3 with a double crochet. Chain 3, turn your work, double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. So you're going to do this until you have a total of 12 rows, counting from the one with the stitch marker. Alright guys, now I have a total of 12 rows, and if I'm to take a measurement of my strap so far, I have a total of about 11 to 12 inches. That's for reference for the people who may want to know that measurement. For now, when I slightly stretch, I have about 12 inches. Now, once you get your 12 rows, you're going to make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn, pull through, and then you can get rid of this stitch marker because it's no longer needed. And now we're going to repeat the same exact process on the opposite side. So remember how we started row 1 of the double crochet rows. We're going to do the same exact thing on the opposite side. So just rewind your video, attach your yarn, and start working your double crochet rows. Decrease until you get 5 stitches, and then you work your 12 rows of 5 double crochets, and then I'll meet you back when that's done. So don't forget, the very first row of double crochets should have a total of 23 stitches, sorry. The very first row of double crochets should have a total of 23 stitches, counting the chain 3 as one of the stitches. Alright, so I'm done with my second strap, and this time round I'm not going to cut my yarn. I'm going to just make a chain of 1 and then make sure that my straps are not twisted, and I'm going to join one end of one strap to the opposite end. So to do that, I'm going to just slip stitch, stitch to stitch. So since I have 5 stitches on both, I'm just going to go into one stitch on this side and the other stitch on the opposite side and place a slip stitch. Go into the next stitch and the next stitch on this side and slip stitch, and continue to do that in all the 5 stitches. Slip stitch and then into the last stitch on both ends, slip stitch, and then you can make a chain of 1. And let's see what we have on the right side. You can see what the right side looks like. So the slip stitches are on this side. Now we're going to go ahead and clean up the edges of the straps, as well as kind of decrease this area to come in a little bit. So to do that, I'm going to just continue with this same exact yarn, but make sure you're working on the right side of your piece. So I'm going to take this direction, working on the right side of your bag. So you're going to make a chain of 1, and into each double crochet row, you're going to place 2 single crochets into each double crochet row. So all the rows of the strap will get 2 single crochets, just like this. Continue all the way to the body of the bag. So we are still placing 2 single crochets in each double crochet row. All right, after placing your 2 single crochets into the very first double crochet row, this is what you'll have. And then we're going to go onto the body of the bag, and this time around we are going to go into the first single crochet with a single crochet, and then single crochet into the next, and then 2 single crochets together. So insert your hook into the next single crochet, pull up a loop, insert your hook into the next single crochet, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all. So we've just created a decrease. So into each of the next 2 stitches, you're going to place 1 single crochet and then a decrease. So insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, insert your hook into the next, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all. So we create a decrease every after 2 single crochet stitches. So let's do that again. Single crochet into the next, single crochet into the next, and then a decrease. And then 1 in each of the next 2 stitches, and then a decrease. 1 in each of the next 2 stitches, and then a decrease. This is going to reduce on that stretch in between the 2 straps. You may not see it right now, but as we continue working around, it will be very clear. We don't want a very wide stretch in between here. So we're going to continue doing that. 1 in each of the next 2, 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, and then a decrease. 1 in each of the next 2 stitches, and then a decrease. So we're almost on reaching the next strap. All right, so this is what we have right now. You can see it has kind of reduced, or it has kind of controlled the width of this area. We shall do it one more time, but for now, go on the side of the strap, your second strap, and you're going to place 2 single crochets in each double crochet row. Until you get to the end of the round, because this is worked from here all the way around. Alright guys, we've come to the end of the round, and this can be enough if this is the width that you're going for, but I'm going to continue to decrease this a little bit. So once you come to the end of the round, you're going to go into the very first single crochet of the round and place a slip stitch, and then make a chain of 1 and single crochet in each of the single crochets until you get to this length here. And we shall do the same exact thing. So for now, I'm just going all the way down the strap with 1 single crochet into each single crochet from the previous round, and then I'll show you what to do when you come to the base or the body of the bag. So if you want to put things that are kind of wide, like a laptop, then you don't need to decrease any further. But for me, I just want to put like smaller books or smaller items, so I'm going to decrease this length a little bit further than what it already is. Alright, so once you come to the base of the strap, you can see this is round 2 of the single crochet stitches, and now we're going to continue to single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches and then a decrease, just like we did for the previous round. Then 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, and then 2 single crochets together to create a decrease, just like that. So I'm going to go all the way across the top of the bag, and you'll see some sort of scrunch up. Don't try to straighten it out, because we are creating decreases for a reason, so that this can kind of come like this and it creates that kind of shaping. So make it all the way across the top of the bag. 1, 2, decrease, 1, 2, and decrease, 1, 2, decrease, 1, 2, decrease, so you can see what our piece looks like right now. So we've made it all the way across, and you can see the number of stitches has drastically decreased as opposed to what we had before. And yeah, you're going to do this round as many times as you wish in order to get that kind of effect. I think I'm going to even do it one more time so that it can really come like this. I feel like this is much more appealing, and yeah, this is exactly what I want for my bag. So from here you're going to go onto the strap and create one single crochet in each and every stitch until the end of the round. And as I had mentioned, I'm going to do this one more time. I'm going to repeat the round one more time, creating a decrease at the top part of the bag. But when it comes to the straps, we are not creating any decreases, guys. Take note of that. Once it comes to the straps, we are going into each and every stitch. The decreases only start when we work across the top part of the bag. So it's still a bit wide. I'm going to do that one more time to bring it in a little bit more. So that means around this opening I'll have a total of 3 rounds. And yeah, just go all the way to the end of the round and then repeat the round one more time, and I'll meet you back when I have mine ready. Alright, so we've come to the end of this round as well. I'm going to slip stitch into the very first single crochet of the round, and then I'm going to do that one more time. So make a chain of 1 and single crochet in each and every single crochet of the strap, and then when it comes to the top of the bag here, I'll create my decreases and then make it all the way to the end of the round. This is also, I feel like the single crochet row is also going to kind of tame the stretch of our strap, which is exactly what we want. Remember, when you're making bags and the weight kind of overwhelms the straps, if you didn't create a control of the stretch of the straps, then the straps are going to keep becoming longer and longer, and this bag may end up not being functional. So the single crochet rounds help with that stretch to be tamed, and it's not so uncontrollable. So one more round. So you can see how our strap looks like. So that means the strap is going to get much thicker than this, because we also have to create the same exact effect on the opposite side. Remember, this is our very first side, and once we finish here, we shall do the same exact thing on the opposite side. So that means our strap is going to be much thicker than this. All right, so we are coming to the base of the strap. Once you finish that, this is what we'll have, and then you're going to start doing your 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches and then a decrease. And then you're going to do that all the way across, and then continue to finish up your round, and I'll meet you back when this is done. All right, so after making it all the way across the decreases, you're going to just finish up your round, placing 1 single crochet in each and every stitch. So you can see that ruffle-like effect that's created once the decreases are done. Don't try to straighten it out. This is exactly how we want it to be. This is actually very, very pretty. So finish up your round. All right, so when you come to the end of the round, you're going to slip stitch into the very first single crochet of the round, and then make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn, leaving behind a tail to weave in. So this is what the finished side looks like. Now we have the unfinished side, which is the opposite side. So you can see the stretch that we had before and what we have now. So this is exactly what we are going to do on the opposite side. So just rewind your video and attach your yarn at the same line level of the straps, and then repeat the same exact process, 2 single crochets in each double crochet row of the straps, and then repeat the whole process of the first side that we have made on the opposite side. So just rewind your video to when we started cleaning up the edges of the bag and repeat the same process, so that we can also tame the stretch or this width of the bag to look exactly the same as what we have on this side. So let me go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you back when everything is ready. Alright guys, after finishing both sides, you're going to have your strap look like this. It's a little bit folded. You can even go ahead and attach this area here if you wish, but I'm going to leave mine as it is. So you can see the dust has already started messing me up. I wish I had used the red as my main color. I usually don't like white on the edges, but for demonstration purposes and for the look that I was going for, I had to go ahead and use the white because that's what I envisioned in my brain. So once you get done with that, you're going to get your darning needle and weave in all your tails. As you can see here, I'm trying to get rid of all the tails. You can make a knot where necessary, or just use a darning needle and weave in all the tails. So what I'm doing, I just get the one on the edge and try to weave it in towards another strand so that I can go ahead and just tie a knot. So just get rid of all your loose ends in the best way possible. So as you can see here, I'm just making a double knot or a triple knot to be even more secure. And then you can cut off the loose ends, the excess yarn. And then you can fold over like this. Now you're going to turn your bag onto the wrong side. You can see all these loose ends. We have to weave them in and make sure we have a very clean finish for our bag. So you're going to just flip over your work like this and use your darning needle, or just get wherever two ends meet, you make a double knot. So just do what you have to do in order to get rid of the loose ends. For me, I'm going to just knot because the knots are going to be on the wrong side of the bag at the end of the day, so they won't be seen at the front or the right side. So I'm going to just make sure I have the knots on the wrong side of my bag. So just like that, I'm done with all these 5 knots. I can cut off the excess. And then when you turn it to the right side, you can see we don't see the knots on the right side of the work. So do what you have to do. If you find now like this one, it's on its own, you go ahead and use your darning needle to weave it in. But make sure you weave into the same exact color. Don't weave a red into a white color, otherwise the colors may start popping on the right side of our work and distort our pattern. So go ahead and weave in all your tails, and I'll meet you back when mine are done. Alright guys, after weaving in all your ends, this is what our final bag looks like. Let's see it. And yeah, it's ready to use. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial as much as I did creating it for you. And don't forget to check out the written pattern, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.